Sanye Judan Soke Chonamna Chanchu Bado Dani Kyapsuchi Dagi Soke Sonanki Dora Tenchi Sangye Jubareshu Sanye Judan Soke Chonamna Chanchu Bado Dani Kyapsuchi Dagi Soke Sonanki Dora Tenchi Sangye Jubareshu Sanye Judan Soke Chonamna Chanchu Bado Dani Kyapsuchi Dagi Soke Sonanki Dora Tenchi Sangye Jubareshu I go for refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and take enlightenment. Practice of jiros and so forth, and there become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I go for refuge to enlighten to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Practice of jiros and so forth, and there become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge in my life to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. My inclination to the practice of drinking and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Te Shantata Gato Yavadat Yesham Chayo Nirodha Mahashamanaye Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Te Shantatathagato Yavadat Yesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashamanaye Swaha Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashamanaye Swaha. Did the fans not working?
We don't need so much. They don't want un aussi, mais pas du violon. Dans les sessions.
Some want? Okay, who don't want fans? Why?
It's quite nice now.
It's nice.
Because after headache,
Oh, give the fans with the headache. Okay. So Mark is good. Okay, questions? Charles, have a question? Yes.
We have two from Chan last session.
Yes.
So one is if it is possible to get enlightened when we take rebirth in another realm other than human beings, and yes. So this is the first question.
Okay. Whether or not we can achieve enlightenment in the other realms. So basically we see that the hell realm, universe realm, animal realms, human realms, God and goddesses, the realm of the God and goddesses, the realm of God, let's say the realm of God. Of these, the easiest is the human realm. The easiest, the realm where we can achieve enlightenment most easily is the human realm. So while we already achieve the human realm, and say the best thing is try best in this life put all our efforts in this life rather than expecting to, okay, well, let me take a break this time. So then the next time whenever I take birth, then I will work harder there. If you cannot work hard in this life, you can't expect to work harder in this life, next life. Next life, there's nothing really special, it's the same. Because the same person goes there. The same person goes there. So in terms of the environment, in terms of the thinking-wise, human beings and the god and goddesses, they are pretty same. Very good. But the good thing about the human realm is that there are factors which can trigger renunciation very easily. Whereas in the god and goddesses is quite scary, because the factor to trigger the renunciations from there. Then the factor to trigger for you to practice Dharma, then factors from there, then for us naturally going to Dharma is very unlikely. So therefore the human realm is the best. Otherwise the text says yes, in terms of the generating bodhicitta, it can happen in all the realms. Even in hell realm, bodhicitta generation is possible. If it says okay, yeah, it's possible. Then in the animal realms, hungry ghost realms, human realms, god goddesses, in all realms, generate the bodhicitta is possible. But the place where we can generate the most easy way is the human realm. And achieving Buddhahood, most easy way is the human realm. And the paragate, seeing, to realize emptiness directly, it happens, the first experience of the direct realization emptiness happens only in the desire realm, not in the form and formless realm, not in God and Goddess, form and formless God realms, only in the desire realm. The first experience of emptiness. First experience, direct experience, not just empty experience. First direct experience of emptiness happens only in the desire realm, not in the form and formless realm. Okay, these are there. But from all the realms, the human realm, this is the best realm where you can practice Dharma. Yes. Okay.
Virginie, je laisse tomber la deuxième partie de la première question par rapport au chantier débat. The second question, it's about the karma which we didn't accumulate. What is that? And what consequence could it have? For instance, and there is an example when the Buddha was a Bodhisattva before, he had to kill one man in a boat. He wanted to kill other people. So this is the example which is given. If there is if there was as a consequence a rebirth in hell or not. And so mainly it's about non-accumulated karma.
Okay, the karma. See, there are many ways of classifying karma. One way of classifying karma is karma done, accumulated. There's one class of karma which you did and which you also accumulate. Another class of karma which you did not do, but you accumulated. Still another karma which you did, but you did not accumulate. And then the fourth class, a karma which you did not do, no accumulated. Okay, first example. What's the first one? Which you did, and also you accumulated. For example, say you actively, for example, okay, us here, we actively come here and think about Bodhicitta. We are actively doing this, and we also accumulate this. So, this is a good one. And the negative one, we actively hurt somebody. We actually did it, and we also accumulated negative karma. Positive, negative, both are there. And then what's next? What you did not do, but you accumulated. For example, say if you send somebody to harm or to steal or let's say to really hurt the other person, and you are here and then with the family talking nice, but your friend already left there and hurt the person, because you instigated the person to do that, although you did not do it yourself, but you accumulated negative karma. Okay. Then likewise positive. For example, say you ask somebody to go and help that person. Give some food and then give some advice. And the person left, and here while the person is doing good things there, here you may be very agitated. Although you are agitated here, you are not doing the good things, but because you triggered other person, you instigated the other person to go there and do the good things, you are accumulating the karma, although you do not do it. So positive and negative both can be explained in this way. What's the third one? Which you did but you did not accumulate. For example, if you do a bad thing say something that happened in many places. Say somebody who is like the robber or somebody who is like a kidnapper will ask you to slap your son or beat the son, and then the kidnapper is just watching you. So kidnapper is not beating your son, but the kidnapper is accumulating negative karma, and you are doing the action of slapping, but you are not accumulating negative karma of slapping. Because you have no bad intention. You are doing the action, but you have not accumulated the karma. Kidnapper is not doing the action, but accumulating the karma. And not accumulated, not done is easy. For example, I do everything, you have no involvement. I do a positive karma, negative karma, whatever, and accumulate, which you have not done, you have not accumulated. Okay. Now, the illustration on the fourth one is not accumulated, not done. For example, I do, and you don't do, and you don't accumulate. Okay, so now the Bodhisattva, Prince Siddhartha, many lifetimes ago, he was born as the chieftain, as the head of the merchants, and who were sailing into the treasure island. Then they coming back from the island, out of the 500 merchants in the ship. Out of 500 merchants, there was one merchant who had an ulterior motive, wanting to own all the treasures that they collected from the treasure island. So for that, how will all these treasure be his? Only if he's able to destroy kill all the 499 people. So he was planning to kill 499 people. Being in the ship, the chief of the merchant, who was the previous birth of the Buddha. So he was a great Bodhisattva. And he says, okay, now this person is going to kill the remaining 499. What should I do? And there is no other possibility to change his mind. So the only choice left is to remove him. So he was in a dilemma, what to do. Either to let him remove 499 people, in other words, accumulate negative karma of killing 499 people with a very bad intention, selfish interest, such an attitude of owning all the wealth by himself, one option, or I will kill him. And then the remaining 499 people, they are spared of their lives, and not only 499, but their own family members, they are waiting there. All the children, their wife, all the people, they are going to be rescued. They're going to be not going to be hurt, not going to go to the pain. So there are only two choices. So the chief of the merchant, he was planning. Okay, if I kill this person, then I will accumulate negative karma and I will have to go to hell realm. Okay, it's one option. Another option is, if I try to save myself, not to go to hell realm, and if I let him kill the 499 people, And killing 499 people, accumulating negative karma is going to be much worse than killing one person, number one. And me killing this person is not because of bad intention, but because of to help the 499 people. For him killing the 499 people is because of bad intentions, of the selfish interest, to own all the wealth that they possess from, that they accrue from the treasure. So he was going to suffer so much for so long in the hell realm. So I can't bear this. I don't want him to suffer in the hell realm. If there's a choice, I suffer in the hell realm or he suffers in the hell realm, I will suffer. This was his choice. So he decided, then he killed the person. So what's the outcome? Outcome, the text says that because he did it with a great compassionate act in order to save the 499 people and to save this person from going to hell realm. Save, in other words, save 499 people and save this person, particularly out of compassion to this person who otherwise going to take part in hell realm. Right after, out of their compassion, saying the act of killing was done, that's negative karma. But meanwhile, he accumulated enormous positive karma of the courage that he displayed to save him from going to hell realm, to save 499 people and their family members. So because of which the text says that the merchant, the chief of the merchant, as a result of having killed that merchant, he took birth in the hell realm just for a very brief moment. As brief as the time taken by the ball to bounce on the floor. If you hit a ball, then the ball will hit the ground and the ball will bounce. How long will the ball take to stay in touch with the ground? Just a fraction of a second. Fraction of a second he was in hell realm, instantly he was out. And as a result, his spiritual realizations, he simply grew so much. Yes. And instantly taking birth in the God's realm. Yeah. This is the textual source. Textual be what? The statement. Textual fact. Okay, any more questions? Yes, Mike?
About rebirth.
Yes.
I'm thinking about that story that you told about the daughter eating the fish, eating the dog. So we accumulate karma, which helps with the next life. But somehow the mother, in her karmic way, became the fish to be eaten by the daughter. And I'm wondering how that relationship kind of happens. Like, it's not just what I do that goes to the rebirth, but also the people around me. You understand my question?
Yes.
Okay.
So how is this karmic connection?
Yes.
Karmic connection. So this is, the karmic connection is like a network. Like a network which we started from since time immemorial. All this connection, for example, let's say, let's say blue marbles and white marbles. From here I told him, let's say blue marbles, hundreds and thousands of blue marbles, and from there the red marbles are thrown. Right? So here initially it is so blue, no red. From there it's purely red, and then gradually it mixed up, and then it keep mixing. Then what happens? It becomes intricately mixed up later on. After about like 10, 20 days, it gets intricately mixed. Likewise, for example, our meeting together in Kalachakra Center, there's one connection. And then, so here the connection is very virtuous. And then in some other lifetimes, again we may meet in some ways, like as burglars together, burglar companions, colleagues, or as teacher colleagues, or as like brothers, sisters, or like the very deadliest of the two neighbors, enemies, or the very close friends. Every time we start making links, So these links
these links, then they operate. They operate, and then that results. For example, nowadays, what is many of the experiments are done on the simulation, computer simulation, right? Because all the what do you call it, the condition of possibilities all have been set there in the computer, and then you give the command, and then automatically operates. So likewise, this is how the karma operates. Yes.
Je voudrais vous demander deux questions. La première sur les phénomènes qui sont cachés, qui sont évidents, qui sont cachés et semi-cachés. Pour les phénomènes qui sont cachés, est-ce que ça peut aller à l'encontre d'une démonstration qui réfute l'existence de cette hypothèse qui est cachée? C'est-à-dire quand il y a quelque chose qui est caché, est-ce que si la science démontre que c'est pas vrai, que scientifiquement, logiquement, ça à l'encontre des preuves scientifiques, est-ce qu'on peut le croire encore dans ce sens caché?
So it's about the manifest, slightly hidden, and very hidden phenomena. If, for instance, science would refute some hidden phenomena, so we should refute also the fact to accept those hidden phenomena.
Okay, this is a very good question. It has two sides. One is that if science refutes some of the hidden phenomena, what should we do? Should we accept science or should we accept the belief? But not really belief, I would say, the way accepted by Buddhism. Okay, for this, His Holiness the Dalai Lama made it very clear. He said that if science disproves Buddhism, he will be the first person to be the signatory of, accepting what the science says. Which means that, okay, science disproving and science not proving, these are different. Science not proving a particular concept doesn't mean that the science has disproved the concept. So what I said earlier is very important. Science does not ultimate analysis cannot disprove the conventional reality. Conventional analysis cannot disprove the ultimate reality. Let us not forget this. Because these two very different analyses. Likewise, modern science cannot disprove the very subtle phenomena like the very hidden phenomena, because the analysis is very different. The analysis is analysis bound with the conventional or the manifest phenomena, not with the very hidden phenomena. So this is, if you study the logic and the philosophy more, then you will come to know, what can refute what. Physics can never refute neuroscience. Neuroscience can never refute physics. Because these two are very two different disciplines. Likewise, as I said earlier, physics and the modern science only touches the manifest phenomena and a part of the very hidden, part of this slightly hidden phenomena. Not all of the hidden phenomena and nothing of the very hidden phenomena. Because the analysis is very different, they cannot refute.
La deuxième question concerne les sensations. L'autre jour, on avait parlé des sensations et je suis confus au niveau des sensations. Parce que là, ce que j'ai appris, c'est que les sensations, ça vient après l'identification, la discrimination. Et pour moi, la sagesse de discrimination, c'est la troisième sagesse qui purifie les perceptions. Et dans les 12 liens d'interdépendance, les sensations, ça vient avant les perceptions. L'appropriation, tout ça.
Okay. Le contact, tu veux dire?
Pardon?
Contact, sensation.
Oui, contact, sensation, tout ça. Et je suis un peu confus et on a parlé des sensations neutres, positives, négatives, et je suis un peu confus, je suis perdu en ces.
Donc la question c'est exactement comment.
Est-ce qu'il peut expliquer un peu plus en détail les sensations par rapport aux perceptions? Parce que si j'ai compris ce que les autres ont dit, c'est que les sensations, il y a des sensations neutres, tout ça, mais je ne suis pas d'accord. S'il peut éclairer là-dessus.
So the question is about the feelings and the relationship between feelings and contact or perception. Because it seems that it's not very clear, when I speak about the neutral and pleasant, unpleasant feelings like this.
Et que la perception, pour moi, la sagesse de discrimination, c'est la troisième sagesse qui purifie la perception et non pas les sensations.
When we speak about discrimination, it seems to be the third wisdom that purifies perception and not
les sensations.
Feelings. Troisième sagesse, c'est quoi la troisième sagesse? C'est par rapport à quoi?
C'est parce que les sensations, c'est la deuxième sagesse, c'est la sagesse de l'équanimité.
The feelings will be the wisdom of equanimity. Je vois pas de quoi tu parles.
Je sais pour ça, je suis perdu s'ils peuvent expliquer.
Okay, so let's say I will try to say something which Christopher is not sure what Charles is asking. I'm not sure what Christopher is saying. I'll try to give answer. Right? From the clue that I got, just see if I got it correctly. If not, don't worry. Then you try to ask the formulated question again. Okay, the idea is that purification that we're talking about, purification of mind, instead of the feelings responsible for purifying the negativities, it should be the discrimination. More to do with the discrimination to help to purify the mind. So, this is your question. So, what I said earlier was that discrimination feeling is the one which determines all our actions. This is what I said. And now you are saying that instead of feeling, discrimination is more important for the purification of mind. If you say yes, if this is what your question is, then I will go further. If not, then I will not go. This is what you're saying? What I said is that in this world, the feeling decides all our actions, movements, and activities for the mind and so forth. And what are you saying? And is that more than the feelings is discrimination that can help us in the purification of the mind. Is what you're asking?
Et donc, ce qui détermine notre karma, c'est surtout comment on perçoit et après on passe aux actions, aux actes.
So what determines our karma is that we have perception, then we have action.
Okay, so what is karma? In other words, what is karma? Instead of, okay, what is karma? The karma is, in a very loose sense. In a loose sense, okay, let's say, some people, for example, they have a claustrophobia. They have this problem with the claustrophobia. And suddenly the person is half asleep and you put him in a small house with no windows. Put him there, the person wakes up, he wakes up from the sleep and ends up seeing that he's in a very close place. So much scare, so much fear comes. So first, wake up, eyes come in contact with the object. What's this? Am I in a close house, small house? Or this is what is this? And pay attention, number 2. Paying attention, then the discrimination. Yes, I'm in a very small place. Then the feeling, when unpleasant feeling comes, unpleasant feeling of fear comes, and then the mind says, no, I should shrink. Intention to shrink. Intention to shrink. Scream, cry, all these things are the intentions. Karma is from the intention. But keep in mind that these 5 mental factors, they are not sequential, they are simultaneous. I explained as well like they are sequential for us to understand things very easily. Otherwise they operate simultaneously. Because they are known as 5 omnipresent mental factors. But what exactly is karma is the intention. Intention to scream, intention to cry, intention to complain, intention to hit the wall, intention to hit yourself. So this intention is karma. That intention which drives the physical actions to come out, that's a physical karma. Intention which drives the verbal to come out, that is the verbal karma. Intention make your mind to move, that is mental karma. Okay, intention. Now, to make it even more, say, comprehensive, intention plus the actual physical action and then verbal actions. They include the karmas, physical, verbal and mental karmas. In other words, intention and the corresponding and the actions. Intention plus the corresponding actions, physical, verbal, they are known as karmas. Okay, any more questions? Okay. Yes, Martin?
Yes, it's about science. If science proves something, Buddhism would say it's okay.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And there is something I think it's not part of proving. It's about a continuum between animals and plants. And if it's a continuum, what will consider Buddhism about the spirits?
Spirits.
Yeah.
The plants, animals and spirits.
Yeah. No, the mind.
Okay. Plants, animals and the mind.
If there is a continuum.
Continuum, okay. Okay, let's say. In fact, to be very honest, science, even if you talk to the scientists, the real scientists, they will say that science never proves anything. Let us not forget this. These are the facts. Science never proves anything. Science will give you information. Science will give you information. They don't prove anything. At the time of Newton, say the quantum physics was unheard of. Newton spoke about the relativity of space, did not speak about the relativity of time.
Yeah.
And then they say the Newtonian physics, classical physics, Newtonian physics talks about the wave-particle duality. But the wave is wave, it's never particle. Particle is never wave, the duality. Quantum physics proves meaning. The quantum physics says that this is not correct, it's wrong. But the quantum physics, the Newtonian physics, they think that this is reality. And in those times, somebody says that no, the same particle behave both in wave as particle. They will say this is wrong. Newton physicists prove that this is wrong. It's not true. So therefore, real scientists, half scientists will say yes, science is proven. Real scientists will say science never proves anything. Science simply explains something. Their explanation can be proven wrong next time. It's wrong, right? Okay. Now about the plant and animals. Okay, plant and animals, we have to make a distinction between some people they think that plants are animals. Some people think that plants are also animals. Not only some of the contemporary, the today's modern people, but even in many 2,500 years ago, there's one tradition, which is Jainism. They also think that plants are animals. Plants are okay. So the distinction that we need to make is between living things and living beings. Plants are living things. Plants are living. Plants are living. They are living things. They are not living beings. Animals and human beings, we are living things as well as living beings. This is the distinction. Right? So the animals will never take birth as a plants. Plants will never take birth as animals. Animals and the plants, these two are very different. Plants are living things. Living things don't take rebirth. Only living beings take rebirth. So what is that component which makes somebody take rebirth? Is the mind, the mind. So living things which are not living beings like plants, they are lacking the mind. Where there is mind involved, then it becomes living things as well as living beings. So animals and human beings, we are living things as well as living beings because we have the additional mind. This is the difference. Yes, Isabel.
Comment vous savez que les plantes ne sont qu'une chose vivante et n'ont pas d'esprit?
How do we know that plants are only living things and not living beings?
Okay, this is a good question. This is a very good question. Okay, Isabel, you put into a problem. No, it's good. When I say you put in problem, it's a big compliment. You don't feel sorry. Okay. So there are two questions. One is a very general question, and the other one is a specific question. Two. General questions, I can give answer. Specific, I cannot give answer to any such specific. For example, if you pick up this, and say, is this a living being or not? And or not, I'm picking up a specific instance. Specific instance, when you go into details, I can never say with assurance. Because we never know. This is a manifestation of Buddha, we never know. Buddha may manifest as a flower because he always is a flower, to give examples. So Buddha may manifest as a flower, Buddha may appear as a flower. Actually it's not a flower, it appears as a flower. Right? Or perhaps it's a ghost. Right? Ghost to make me happy. The ghost must appear as a flower. We never know. You're getting it? These are the specifics. Now, when we speak about the concepts, we speak in general, not the specifics. Right? When we speak of the concept, for example, the plants in general, plants. I cannot pick up because there are some entities which look like plants, but actually they are animals. They are, right? For example, like the leaves, like this leaf. Like this leaf. This leaf, there is something eaten by the worms. I saw one video clip sent to me by one of my friends. Actually, you cannot distinguish between this leaf and that insect. The same leaf with all these, the veins, the leaf, what do you call it, capillaries, where the food is transmitted, and then the parts which were eaten by the worms, they are identically same. And it's actually moving. This animal. So if you pick up such instances like this, you can never say whether it's animal or plant. But animal and plant in general, plants means, by very definition, plants which we can eat, right? So, which we can eat, they are not living beings, they are living things. So how to distinguish that? In general, not the specifics. In general, the one distinction is that, for example, in general, the plants, for example, this flower, I push it, it will fall. It will fall, but it will not come back. But if there is some insect, and if there's the sugar there, I push the insect there, insect will come back. And a human being, if I push, he will think, should I come back or not? Right? That thinking, that makes the animal, that makes the sentient.
Les plantes n'ont pas d'intention, alors, c'est ça?
So a plant doesn't have any intention.
Okay, the point is, okay, to be very direct, the plants don't have the intention. That's the difference. The plants operate purely through chemical operation. Chemical and electrical operation. Whereas the human beings and animals, they operate on top of the chemical and the electrical. That is the intentional operation. Oh, Howard.
So last class you ended in making like this distinction between mind and brain. You ended by saying something like that science is willing to like sacrifice the brain for the mind.
No science.
Modernity.
The humanity.
Humanity, yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what comes to mind is, let's say, we take something like, which happened until really quite recently, something like a lobotomy, where the prefrontal lobe is excised in order to ameliorate the mood of the person. So someone who is suffering from depression, severe depression, for instance. But what in fact we see is that when the prefrontal lobe was excised, that that mind of the person was affected as well. It was that person, was.
Okay, so in a way, what he's saying is that brain affects the mind. Is what he's saying?
There seems to be a very direct.
Yes. The brain affects the mind. Okay, this is a very important discussion. This was discussed in Pramana Vartika chapter 2. Pramana Vartika chapter 2, all the best book on rebirth, best book, logically proving the rebirth, the best book on this earth is Pramana Vartika chapter 2. Logically proving the rebirth, the best book on this earth is Pramana Vartika chapter 2. So there, your debates, the question that you brought up is very clearly indicated there. So Acharya Chandrakirti, in fact, rhetorically brought up this question, saying that when the damage happens to the brain, your mind is affected. When the damage happens to the brain, your mind is affected. So Acharya Chandrakirti, Acharya Dharmakirti, he said that when the damage happens to the brain, your mind is affected. This is reality. You have to accept it. This is reality. So this, he said that mind and brain is not always one way track. Mind can affect the brain can affect the mind. No doubt the brain can affect the mind. Today, even the neuroscientists, they are talking about how the mind can affect the brain. Not only the brain affects the mind also affects the brain. Because of training in the mind, the brain's synaptic connections are being changed. This is what is being discovered. This is known as neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity, this is what is being, as a new development, is what is being discovered now. So it's in two ways, it's not just one way. This is what precisely all these possible debates, they all indicated, all rhetorically indicated in Acharya Dharmakirti's text. Okay, more questions? Any questions, Frank?
Could you explain about the accumulation of merit, like through frustrations or overdose, and then specifically how to keep them alive? So how to keep them vivid.
For what?
Well, maybe the whole practice actually.
In other words, why do we have to do these frustrations, water offerings, incense offerings, and so forth? Why do we have to do this? Okay, this is a good question. Okay, there are so many people who are doing this. They should give the answer. Okay. Anybody? Why do we have to do that? Yes, Pamela?
Well, I think it's one method to train the mind, to make it a little more supple, and maybe also to practice perfections, if you're trying to practice generosity or something like that.
Okay, in what way it helps?
Pardon?
how it helps?
How would it help?
Yeah. For
Because
example,
our
offer
habits,
lights.
because our habits are so.
Let's say. Okay, I offer lights. Oh Buddha, I have a business to do. I offer you €1 light. Please let me have 1,000 euro. It's a business transaction happening, right? In what way it helps the generosity?
In one way, well, I think because we're so used to not giving anything, we're so used to having afflictions and being stingy and narrow-minded, that if you can do something in opposition to that, I think it opens up the possibility to be different, to change.
Then what about making offerings? Making prostrations?
I think that's the same kind of thing.
But how?
That it is.
Prostration is not generosity, right?
Right.
The giving is generosity, that's fine, generosity increases. Prostration, why do you do
I
prostration?
think because it's an activity of your body and your mind especially, and maybe your speech too if you're saying something as you're doing this. And so you're creating a new imprint on your mind, you're creating...
imprint to exercise? So for that you don't prostrate, you have to go to the gym, imprint will be late?
Yeah, I think something different than we usually do. It's a positive activity, I guess.
Okay, anybody? Okay, yes.
It's for humility.
Huh?
It's for to try to humility.
To be humble, to keep prostrations.
To be humble, then you go to the gym and do humble? Huh?
No.
Why not?
Because you think of the quality of Buddhas and Bodhicittas in front of you, and you think of other people prostrating you. So.
Then you be humble to the ordinary people also.
Okay.
What's the problem? Okay, Mary. Okay, this is a question from Frank. We have to make Frank happy. Okay, Mary.
C'est pour leur rendre hommage et puis pour leur faire comprendre que nous respectons, que nous admirons les qualités dont ils représentent.
So it's just to pay homage to them, to the Bodhisattva, and to make them understand that we respect their qualities, we admire their qualities.
Okay, whether we respect or not, they already know. We don't let them know. Right? They already know that. They already know. You don't have to do these things to let them know. They already know. Why are we doing this? Okay,
so we recognize these qualities and we aspire to have them, but we also recognize that at the moment we don't have them. So in the same way, to receive the teachings we need to be open, we need to understand that we don't have these qualities, and in order to receive instructions to develop these qualities we need to be open and humble.
Then why do we prostrate?
To signify that, to materialize that.
To materialize what?
What I just said.
So friends should be happy. Okay, anybody? Okay, yes, Mike?
I can tell you, I do it because I'm very thankful for the teachings that I'm given, and it also helps me to remember to
for thankful, why should you prostrate? Why don't you say thank you?
Why?
No, why? There are two ways of thanking, right? Hey, Bodhisattas, thank you so much. Right? Why do you have to make prostration? Why? This is question. Yeah, thank you so much. Why not like this? These are these are really the questions. Okay, let's see what our revolutionary has to say. Okay. Maybe she has the answer. Yes.
I don't know if I have an answer, but I would say it's not so much about the body. It's much more about the mind. What we are thinking when we are doing it. If I think, oh, it's boring, I'm very tired, or it doesn't affect the mind at all. If I'm thinking of what we are taught about what we are visualizing, thinking of the qualities of the Buddha, thinking if I extend my body very large, I purify more, and then I will have more.
No, why do you lie down then? Why? It is like exercise.
No, it's not like exercise. Like there
Why
is
not?
many visualization related to it. There is many.
No, how? If you lie down, realization come down.
No. There is many things related to each. I mean, it's like there is so much details.
No. Why do you lie down? This is the point. Don't say details. Lie down is pure exercise.
When we lie down,
In what way it helps?
we extend our body.
But then the blessings of spread more.
No.
Then?
It is said in the teaching, the more we extend our body, the more our skin and feet and everything touch the floor, the more we.
But then you keep lying down. That touches every day. Then.
And after the faster
keep lying down, sleep.
And after the faster we stand up, it's related to the faster we want to go out of samsara.
How? Wow, that's amazing.
It's a way to train the mind, to transform the mind how we see.
So which means that you trust the land, so land gives you nirvana.
No.
Then?
It's related to, if I think, it's very related to my way of thinking.
Thinking how?
So if I lie down and I stretch very, very much, and
Yes.
I visualize I touch the feet of Buddha.
Then you don't have to lie down. You don't accept that I stretch my arms in the air. You know, it stretches to the air spreads.
Your question is why on the floor?
Why the floor is required? Huh?
Yeah, it's related to humility as well as something you said.
How? Why touching the floor is humility? Touching the air is not humility, why not? Okay. So this is a question which, is very challenging. As long as friend is not happy, we are not successful. Okay, Patrick.
Nous touchons la terre parce que le Bouddha a touché la terre à témoin.
So we touch the ground because the Buddha touched the ground also as a witness.
Okay, then Buddha also touches the air. He also touches the air like this. Buddha touches the air.
Yes, but
Okay. Now we are doing everything blindly. Oh. Yes, Sean.
Dans la prière en 7 points, il y a des actes comme la prosternation, la confession, c'est pour la purification. Et d'autres, c'est pour l'accumulation de mérites, comme vous apprendre la prière de tourner la roue du Dharma et de rester. Et puis il y a un troisième que je parle maintenant.
So in the 7-ling practice, there are the prostrations in order to purify, and there are some other practices in order to accumulate merits.
So in 7
la confession
why
la confession.
Why
prosternation et confession, c'est pour purifier.
So prostrations and confession are in order to purify.
So why for prostration? Why do you have to do exercise? Okay.
C'est pour
I thought that this answer will come from France. No, answer doesn't come from France. Okay, Thomas.
Dans l'absolu, ça n'a pas de sens. Vas-y, tu peux.
Ultimately, it has no sense.
But conceptuellement, ça a du sens.
But conceptually, it has sense.
How?
For us.
How?
Because since immemorials time passed, we misrespect with our body in conceptual sense. So we do the opposite to purify it, and in good intention.
With a good intention, you can touch the air.
Yeah, but for us, it's not mean this.
No, speaking French.
For us, it's mean nothing. Touch here, it's mean nothing. So we have to purify it in the way which means nothing, which means something. Conceptually.
Okay, what Thomas is saying is making great sense. What he's saying is that ultimately nothing makes sense. Okay, that's fine. They will not touch that area. So conventionally, okay. When this is how the psychologists they examine the people's thinking. Okay, when two people meet, like say from two institutions. They don't know each other for like a meeting, for like some kind of to resolve a problem, to meet. Okay. You see like this, which means that no, I'm not afraid of you, right? And the other person will likewise see like this. Okay. When the person starts to admire the other person's thinking, then the person will move like this. It will be going like this. And particularly if the person is so impressed by the knowledge, vast thinking, compassion altogether, then the whole body language will change. The body will not sit like this. It will sit like this. It will change. Right? This is our convention. This is a convention of the humility. Then the humility is coming. Earlier, to say that proof that I'm not weak. Right? This is how we sit when we meet somebody as a new, particularly as a competitor. As a competitor, and if the person says nicely, for example, okay, the elders, 40 plus, no, around 50 plus, they will know that. The first time Ronald Reagan and Michael Gorbachev drove to meet. Okay, those remember? The first historic meeting. The Cold Wars happening, Cold Wars. Ronald Reagan and Gorbachev. USSR had Gorbachev and American President Ronald Reagan drove them historic meeting, first time meeting, right? Two superpowers of the world, USSR, not Russia, USSR and USA, meeting for the first time. The two blocks, the whole world divided into the two blocks, America, USSR. Most of most countries, somehow they should either affiliate to America or affiliate to USSR. Two blocks. So how the two heads should meet, right? Just look at the body language. They were already trained a lot. How should you present yourself as the leader of the one block? How should you present yourself? And then, on the one hand, if you're too egoistic, then the meeting, the purpose is defeated. Meeting so that the Cold War is mitigated for that purpose. And very arrogant, there's a problem. Too timid is also a problem. Because you are representing one block here. So both of them, they're so well trained advisors. They give all the trainings to two of them, both of them. Trainings were given how to, what smile to show, what degree of smile to show, what is your body language, and how you put your hat. And when the others put on the hat, then you also put on the hat. If the others just put on the hat, don't put on the hat. Oh, these were trained. And what? I don't remember who put off the hat first. Other person put off the hat, and the second also put off the hat. Right? All these are the conventions. All the conventions. So there's already the existing conventions with us since many lifetimes within this world, within this. We all have convention. And somebody says like this, we say, oh, the person is very arrogant. Somebody says like this, right? Like this, oh, the person is very decent. Right? These are conventions. Within this convention, then say we see somebody touching the feet of somebody. Oh, why this person is so submissive? Right? So this is a convention of being surrendering. This convention is not exercise. It's not exercise. It's a convention of the surrender. In the Buddhist context, we don't say surrender. We say the receptivity. Surrender meaning, okay, now you can do whatever to me. But in Buddhism, no. Receptivity. I want to learn from you. You are great. You are full of compassion. You are full of wisdom. I don't have the wisdom, so therefore I suffer. I don't want to suffer. My suffering is because of ignorance. I will get rid of the ignorance. Ignorance I get rid of only with the wisdom, and wisdom you have. So I have to learn from you. So this is the receptivity, not surrender, in the Buddhist context. So therefore, what we call as prostration is a physical gesture to reinforce your mental process to receive the knowledge from the high enlightened beings. This purpose. Good? Okay, we'll stop here.
Bodhiswa